Hey team, Coach Aaron here, taking you through your brief for Thursday the 18th of November. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our warm-up. Okay, so warm-up, we're going to go through 45 seconds of each of these positions, starting off with our pigeon stretch. Okay, so we come down nice and low, we're going to hang out here, hitting our glutes. Okay, loosening up those hips a little bit as well. Holding here for 45 seconds. We can do this each side before we move to a squat hold. Alright, so while we're in the squat hold, working it, having to play around, do some twists, okay, loosen up that lower back as well. Okay, after we've done that, we're going to move on to the next part of our warm-up, which is 2 sets of 10 curtsey lunges and 5 inchworms. So our curtsey lunges, alright, so we're going to lunge back and behind, okay, making sure our knees not collapsing in. Alright, as we're going through those lunges, nice and slow, looking after our knees, okay, followed by inchworms after that. So start nice and tall, walking out until we're in that plank, keep walking back up, standing nice and tall, 5 reps of that, okay? Just loosen up the wrists a little bit and stuff like that. Cool, get the hamstrings going. Then we're going to move on to our strength piece today, okay? So it's a bit of core work, a bit of explosive leg stuff as well. Okay, so we're going to start off with we've got 2 tabatas today. So the first tabata is going to be primarily focused around our midline. Okay, so our core. We're going to be doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and we're going to be alternating as we go through this 4 minutes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go through is a plank hold. Okay, so we've got 2 options with this. We've got a plank hold or we've got a plank pull through. Okay, so plank hold, alright, making sure our bum's not sticking way up in the air. Last thing we want to be doing is this. We also don't want to be having our hips sagging down. Alright, thinking about squeezing your glutes, keeping your rib cage down to that belly button, keeping everything nice and tight. Okay, if we're not going to do that, we can do some pull-throughs. Okay, so what they'll look like is I'm going to be in that tall plank position, my hands just forward my dumbbell or whatever I'm going to use, and pull through across. Okay, and we get there. What I'm trying to avoid here is doing any sort of shifting where I'm just moving my weight like this. Okay, so I'm bracing my core, keeping it nice and tight when I move through. Okay, so we're going to alternate between those. Sorry, we got one of those 2 movements that we want to be using. The next alternate movement is an L-sit or a hollow. Okay, so L-sit, these can be quite difficult. Alright, some different variations you can do. We can use a set of parallettes or for outside, and we're limited on all that sort of fanciest gear. What you can do, chuck down some plates. You can actually do some seated L-sits off these. Alright, so I'm going to set my hands up on my plates, and then I'm going to push myself up off the ground and holding there for as long as I can. Okay, if it does get a little bit difficult, you tuck your knees in a little bit closer. It does make it a little bit easier on the midline. Okay, and going from there. Okay. If we're unable to do that, we can go to a hollow hold. Okay, so same sort of stimulus, targeting the same similar muscle groups. Okay, so hollow hold, making sure we're keeping that top of that back off the ground. We don't want to be down here doing this. We're thinking about tucking our pelvis underneath, pushing our lower back into the floor, keeping those arms up and those shoulders up. Okay, alternatively, we can tuck in and hold. Okay, another one we can do, keeping your feet on the ground, focusing on pushing that lower back into the floor and lifting that chest up, so we're still targeting that midline through there. Then what we can do is, after we've done that, we're going to have 2-3 minutes rest. After that 4-minute Tabata, then we're going to move on to the next part. Next part is going to be more leg-based stuff. Okay, so what we have is we've got weighted or unweighted Cossack squats. Okay, so nice wide stance. Alright, shifting our weight through, trying to keep that chest up nice and high, trying not to fall over too much. Okay, we're going to do it weighted. We can do it with a kettlebell or a dumbbell. Alright, just shifting through. Okay, and moving through that. Okay, alright, try to make sure we're not too narrow with our feet. We're not going on the outside of this sort of position, making sure that we are stacking nicely over that foot. Our next alternate, so the next block, the next 20-second block is going to be either high box jumps or tuck jumps. Okay, so box jumps, what we're looking for here is being as explosive as possible, jumping up onto that box, standing up nice and tall, stepping back down. Okay, so we've got that for 20 seconds. Okay, then we have tuck jumps as our alternate as well. So if we can't do box jumps, we've got tuck jumps. Okay, so standing nice and tall, we're going to tuck jump, bringing those knees fast up into the chest and extending back out. Okay, trying to be, once again, as explosive as possible. Okay, After we've gone through those 2 tabatas, those 4-minute tabatas, we're going to move on to our conditioning piece today, okay, which is going to be 3 rounds with a 22-minute cap, okay. So first of all, on the barbell side, what we have is we've got 20 deadlifts. The weight is at 80 and 55. We're looking at a moderate. It's a pretty moderate weight for your deadlift. So if that's heavy for you, scale it back. We've got quite high reps to do today. All right, so scale it back so it's able to be done pretty confidently through those reps, okay? Then we've got 50 squats followed by 30 sit-ups, okay? So our deadlift, making sure our midline's tight, of course, but also our back is nice and neutral, okay? Not caving over, not overarching too, okay? Keeping everything nice and tight, standing up nice and tall, back down, okay? And our deadlifts, then we're moving over to our 50 squats, so just air squats, okay? Standing up nice and tall, okay, getting that full extension, and then we've got our 30 sit-ups. Okay, so pushing the ground behind us, coming up, in front of our toes, 30 reps there. 3 rounds through that. If we're doing the dumbbell kettlebell version, okay, what we're actually going to do is we're going to do box jumps instead. So instead of those deadlifts, we've got 20 box jumps. Okay, standing up nice and tall. Okay, if not, we can step these up instead. Alright, we're not able to do any sort of that impacting sort of movements. Alright, then we've got 50 squats, again, down nice and tall, followed by those 30 sit-ups again. There is a catch with this workout, is that every 2 minutes that you take, including 0, so at the start, you've got to complete 10 calories for the guys, 8 for the ladies, or a 100-meter run. Okay, so it'll be 3, 2, 1, go, boom, those calories, all that run will be done. You'll come in, crack into that workout. Then once we hit the 2-minute mark, you're going to go for those calories, all that run again, and it will continue until you finish this workout. Cool? That is your workout for Thursday, team. Enjoy, have fun, stay safe.